Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Coach Derek from PSP Showcase Baseball. It's Thursday, Throwback Thursday. It's gorgeous out again. Hey, players, get out there. Use this beautiful weather to your advantage. If your team's not practicing anymore, get out and do your off-season work now. Build your long toss in. Get out and throw. Pitchers, find your release points. Hitters, continue to build your swing. Maybe you had a great end of the year, even in a short, condensed year for 2020. Continue to build off of that. Maybe you didn't have a great year. This is putting the work time in. But anyhow, get out. Just get out and get some baseball in. With it being Throwback Thursday, I'm going to keep my message kind of flowing with that. I want you to think back. This pertains to more of the older players, but even younger guys, maybe, think back a year or two ago, or maybe a year or two or three. Think along the way, a coach you had that made a positive impact. Maybe he was a great coach. Maybe he was one of your favorite coaches, if not the favorite coach you've had. Think about what made him special. What made that coach special? And I want you to think back to a team you played on. Maybe you didn't win a championship. Maybe you guys won 30% of the time or 50% of the time. Or maybe you were just dynamic and you were just awesome. Think back to your most favorite team, okay? And what made that team special? What was it? The kids, really good teammates? Was it the talent and that they were good teammates? Was it that the coach was really good and the kids were awesome and the parent group was awesome? I want you to think back to the coach that made the biggest impact and the team that you felt was the biggest impact that you had the most fun with. And I want you to think about where you're at now as a player. Do you see any similarities in your coach that you have now? Do you see any similarities in the team you're on right now? As you continue to progress, you got to realize that all these years that you go through as an amateur baseball athlete, you don't get back. So as you continue to go year to year, are you finding those things? Because there's a reason that coach that's your favorite stuck in your mind. There's a reason those teammates and that team stuck in your mind. Do you have that right now? Are you seeking that? Are you trying to find that? Are you leaving your program because you don't feel that? Or maybe you haven't chosen yet to leave your program and you're just kind of wavering, like, I don't want to be here. I want to love baseball. I want to love my team. I want that feeling that I had with that coach. Again, maybe it's not about the championships, maybe it was just about the impact that coach made, and parents, if you have older players, that's super important. What is that impact of that coach going to be? There's going to be a lot of used car salesmen out there. There's going to be a lot of guys that just, play the cards and they got poker face and they're going to tell you, your kid's a number one and you're going to walk into a starting job and then you get out there and you realize your kid's not even playing. He's just basically filling the team's pocketbook. So it's important to know, like, what's the history of your coach? Does your coach have a history of just, playing the same 9 guys every game? Or does he pull guys out of the game? Does he start different lineups? Is he developing the whole team? Or is it just like the starting 9 and then other guys get to show up to practice too? And then think about that coach that made that biggest impact on you. And then team-wise, you don't get to go back. So I know what it's like. You want to be on a winning team. Everybody loves to win. But a true character builder is when you're on a team that can win and they find a way to win. And when they lose, they take that as a lesson. Their coach goes back and is academic with the game. Why did we not get it done? They don't spend 15, 20 minutes after the game talking to you about it. They just, hey, you know what? We did this. Hey, I like this. They try to highlight the positives and take some positives away, and then send you on your way. And then they meet at practice, and that's when they go back to the lab and they work on the things that they got beat with. It's so important that you find the right home. Because again, like I said, if you don't find the right home and then you go to a new team and then you don't find that as the right home, you go to a new team and you don't find that as the right home, and you're just continuing to go from team to team to team each year, colleges take note of that. And that's a concern for them, especially when it comes to commitment time. So if you're concerned about it, like in previous messages I've talked about your commitment, being transparent. If you can't meet a coach that's transparent with you, it's going to be hard for you to be transparent with him or her if you're a select softball player. So it's important that you're able to build some honest and concrete dialogue, so you have an understanding. Like, this is where we're going. This is what we want to be. This is what we want to do. But again, it comes down to, you don't get these years back, so make sure you're in a situation where you're growing. You see those qualities in your coach that you loved about your favorite coach. Doesn't have to be completely matched, but some qualities, if you absolutely don't like your head coach, find a new program, because you're not going to feel good about going to give 100% to a person you don't feel is giving 100% to you. And then your team. If you have a great coach but not a good team and not good teammates, that's still going to be a strain, because you're out there and you and the coach have a relationship, but you and your teammates are strained, and there may be some strained relationships there. So again, in a perfect world, you're going to find a great home with a great coach. You've got great teammates. And look at the history of the programs too. If the program has a history of a lot of turnover, do you want to jump into that? Because that's kind of like trying to tap dance and not step on the nail. Because if they have a history of high turnover, you're probably going to be a person that's going to have to go to find a new team. So you've left one team to go here, and then the next year you're going here. And if you're a high school guy looking to get to a college, you've just set yourself up for a lot of questions that are going to be difficult to answer. Like for college coaches, like, well, I noticed that you've changed teams several times. Can you give me a little background on that? Remove the difficult, find a good home. If you're a great player, you're going to get found. You're going to get noticed. Even if you're in a really bad program, great players get noticed. If you're developing yourself and you're in a program that's not developing you, and you're a really good player and you're being invited to all these showcase things and such, PBR, Baseball Northwest, Pac Northwest, all those different entities, again, analyze your situation. What team are you on? Are you getting developed right? Who's the coach? Does the coach know how to develop you? Maybe he's just a dad. Maybe he's a dad that's just hitting you ground balls and you're doing bullpens, and he's not correcting anything in your bullpens. He's not correcting anything in your swings, and you're not getting any footwork training or anything like that, because he doesn't know how to teach it. Again, whatever your situation is, make sure you find a good home. And I hope this Throwback Thursday message has you reflecting on some happy times that you've had throughout your baseball career. Take care. Have a great rest of your week. God bless.